Hey there, y'all. Sorry about that. It froze up on me, so no worries. Session 17 just has two parts, and I'll just divide it up, and that is how it is. I still do not fully understand all the technological nuances of making videos, so I'm just doing the best I can. So I am not sure where it cut me off last time, but what I'm doing now is brushing and cleaning my pizza slices. Before you do your assembly, you do want it to be kind of brushed and clean. You don't want to stick your embellishments, your lettering, your bits and bobs. You don't want to stick them onto loose glitter. You want to brush the loose glitter off first. Otherwise, you're gluing onto it's just going to slide. It's like trying to hot glue something onto sand. It's just going to slide. I don't know why that is what came into my head, but it's like kind of what I visualize when I visualize hot gluing onto loose glitter. Like it's just so anyway, as a reminder, what we did before is we did our silver 2 coats with confetti on the inside and bottom and heel of the shoe to make our server, our little serving wedge, our pizza serving wedge. Then we did baked with love. We hot glued the crust on using rope. You did baked with love on the crust and also like the slice of the shoe. You can see a little bit of the baked with love. Then we kind of rough blob blob is wrong. It wasn't quite that runny, but we sort of splotched our paint on, or our glue rather. We splotched our glue on and then put red pizza sauce glitter onto that, and that made our sauce. And then finally, we sort of reclaimed some white paint from some otherwise empty bottles, but you can also use a fresh bottle, no problem. You can use it directly from the bottle. What I did is I scooped it all into a piping bag and I piped my cheese texture. I made those little strands of melty cheese on the pizza. So now one of my gals already has her trim. We trimmed first and then kind of let the pizza overlap into the trim. Don't like that as much. This is going to be a little bit tidier. So real quick, we're gonna trim our pizza. I want there to be just silver trim at the edge. It's pretty clean, but I just think trim on the edges makes a shoe look more complete, look more finished, look more polished, ready for its moment. And when you get to the pizza, you are going to kind of have to like wrap the trim around it, which is part of why I like a nice thin gimp trim, because it's got that sort of waviness that it really hugs the curves nicely. So it's great for trimming an odd topology like a shoe is. I probably went a little long on that. That's probably my fault. When you're doing hot glue, the best tip I can give you, and I know I'm a broken record, I know I've said this many times, the best tip I can give you for hot glue is work in short fragments. The temptation, I think for a lot of people, but definitely for me, is like I want to draw a nice straight line. But if you do too big of a line, the glue will kind of start to cool off and not have as much grip. So the newer you are, I would say the shorter, 2, 3 inches, and pat it down. I know it's hard to see from this angle, but you have, I'm sure, watched me hot glue trim to many, many shoes. And that's all I'm doing is tracing around the edge, a little bit of hot glue, pat, 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 gentle pat, pat. I don't want to push the hot glue too hard because I don't want to burn my fingers, but I also don't want to let it sit. I want to push the trim into the hot glue so that the hot glue can actually hold it. And I know there are many crafters who benefit from using a skewer. So like a chopstick to kind of push it in. That is absolutely a very viable strategy. If you burn easy, my fingers are pretty tough when it comes to hot glue from years of being a polymer chemist and handling hot slabs of polymer coming out of the oven. The crafting doesn't hurt either. All right. My join is not very pretty. What I want more than anything in the world, what I want is a little red tomato styled cab to put there. So a smooth red or a bright red. I don't have that right now. So I won't do anything with it right now. I'll poke around it. The next time I'm poking around in my stash, if I see what I'm looking for, I'll grab, or even something close. Because there's always what I would ideally like if I could just pluck it out of my imagination. But then there's also like what we actually work with in the real world. All right. So she is trimmed. This piece is, are you long enough to go all the way around or am I saving you for a different shoe? Oh, you're long enough to go all the way around. Smell you, Nancy Drew. All right. So a couple of inches. Trim. You can't really see, but it's a slightly nicer view. And I am very open to feedback. If y'all let me know that you really do want more overhead. I do have the overhead camera. I just tend to be lazy about toggling back and forth. So I tend to, if I'm doing a tutorial that's overhead, it's going to be all overhead. So if I'm doing like a watch me do a transfer or something like that, I tend to do all, I'm gesturing because my overhead claw guy is over here. But it's also not that bad. I could probably toggle back and forth if that would be helpful to people because you can't really see what I'm doing here. I can narrate it, I can describe it, but it still takes some imagination. Just glue it. But also I'm not sure how riveting it is. And I mostly hot glue the shoe and then pat the trim in. When I go around the toe of a pointy pizza slice like this one is, I line the I put the glue on the trim and then bend it all the way around. And I'll show y'all, I'll draw your attention to that again when I do my fourth slice numero 4. Cat? I don't know. I speak French, sorry. And not even good French, but that is, my Spanish is worse than my French. All right. Mhm. I wish I could like put a chip in. I wish I could like put a flash drive in my brain and just download languages. That would be very cool. All right. So she's again got that kind of ugly, not ugly, imperfect. She's got kind of an imperfect join there, but I'm gonna put a little dot on her. Gonna get maybe like an 8 millimeter red cabochon. And if in my dreams it would be smooth and pearly, like how this one is, but like red. So I'll check my stash, and if I'm being perfectly honest, I'm like, oh, I'm gonna look in the stash. I'm gonna be so good. I'm gonna be so disciplined. I'm gonna use something I already bought. I'm probably gonna check the glitter store, and if I see something that I like, I will probably buy something new, which is not like the best habit, but life is short. Buying craft supplies is not the worst vice. All right. Little So I'm putting the glue on the shoe along the edge, 2 maybe 3 inches of hot glue just where my trim goes. I am winding around my peak crust, and that part might be a little bit wonk, but a little wonk never hurt anybody. I'm seeing a spot where I probably want to touch up this crust, but that is not a right now project. And I probably, once again, every time, I probably did too much there, but I think I'll be okay. I want to move fast. Ugh. I put a little too much glue, and so it kind of, when I patted my trim, it kind of like pizza cheese, really, like literal pizza cheese. It kind of pulled. So that's not ideal. That's my fault for doing too much too fast. All right. So when I'm ready to scoop around the toe, I put the glue on the trim. And wind it into place. Beautiful. Beautiful. And that just gives me a nice, smooth, pretty edge because I like a nice, smooth, pretty edge. And that's exactly what she is. So since it cut me off, I think, I'm not sure, possibly the video will be fine and it was only on my end and you'll watch me like staring into the camera with furrowed brow going, wait, why did it freeze? What's going on? What the heck? Tap, tap. And it won't look like anything's wrong on your end. So if I look dumb, so be it. All the way around. But because it stopped, cut me off, I went and got clean green ultrafine and clean red ultrafine so that I can do my lettering because I really like to do a red green ombre on my pizzas. I think it's very dramatic and very impactful. That I might do the overhead. Okay. We have got 4 slices, all of them trimmed. Now it's pepperoni time. So I'm going to line them up looking at me. Going to get my tray of glittered pepperonis and we're gonna rock it out. So this would probably be helpful with the overhead. Give me a second. I'm going to do this on the overhead. Let me see if I can figure this out. Oh, orientation is locked. Okay. All right. Okay. I tried, guys. I tried, but YouTube scolded me. So maybe what I should do is do like 2 of these right now. And then maybe I should, I hate to break this into 3 sessions. That feels a bit much. How about I do these? And then since I have so much extracurricular pizza made, I think I have some videos up of me doing the pizzas. So from last year or the year before, or who knows. All right, I'm gluing the pepperonis down. Ah, putting the toppings on is very fulfilling. It really starts to look. This is what I'm talking about. You do all the individual pieces. You do all the work. You get the nooks, you get the crannies, you get it. You do the hard work to get it done right, and then you get to put it together. I love putting it together. Do I have I'm looking for if I put one right here, it looks a little bit too regular. So I'm looking for a cut one like this. Excuse me. I'm looking to do a half one like that, kind of towards the bottom of the slice. I think that's cute. Yes, yes. Do I wanna? Yeah. And because the pepperonis are kind of a thickish craft foam, and because you've given them several coats of glitter, they will take a little bit of persuading to bend. You do have to kind of bend it down and hold it. Oh, that's really fun though. All right, yeah, that's very cute. Very cute. Do I want to put one there? That's a little too much, and I do have some green peppers. So I'll wait for the green peppers. But that gets us started. Hooray, hooray. All right, so I'm gonna, on this round, I'll save my little ones for my little, or do I? Yeah. This slice is a little bit bigger, so I'll do it a little bit bigger. All right, hefty. All right, I'm gonna put this slice on the toe. So I do have to kind of fold it and hold it. Fold and hold. Maybe you can see that okay. And then yeah, I want it to be covered, but not look too regular. So that's gonna sit like that. Nice. And it is okay for the pepperonis to kind of sit on top of each other. That does sometimes happen. I don't want it to be like bananas. I don't want to completely lose all the work I did. This is the fun part. Don't look now, guys, but this is the fun part. Slices. And it'll look even more filled in as I do the come on brain, green bell peppers. And of course now I'm like wishing I'd done the onions. But you got to do, you got to be nice to yourself. You can only get done. You're a human being. I'm a human being. If we were doing nothing but making pizza shoes, then maybe. But we got other things going on. We got people, places, and things. We are out here nowning. Yes, yes, yes. Oh, guys, isn't that fun? Yay! And I'm gonna put a smallish slice here. And you do cover up a lot, I know that I worked so hard to like carefully pipe the cheese, and now a lot of it is covered up. That's okay. It's, labors of love are gonna have details that only you know about. And that is magical and special. That is an honor and a privilege. I wish I had. Interesting. I don't want to cut them up and need to touch them up. I don't want to change the shapes now. But I am kind of wishing I had done a few more different shapes than just the slices, but that's something just the half slices. But that's something to work on at a later point in time, and that's okay. Oh, I like this part a lot. I like this part a lot. Let me put a real thin little sliver of a guy. And I think I am going to probably have a good amount. Before I was like, "Oh, it's so much. It's way more than I need." It's probably pretty close to what I want. So, like I said, guys, I never correctly estimate the amount of stuff I'm going to want on these. So, my favorite. That's my favorite. Putting it together is my favorite. I love it so much. Whew. Okay, so now that I've done a couple, I'll put some green peppers in, but that kind of gives me a little bit of an idea of how I want to lay them out. So I can kind of model it kind of on this. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I'm going to put that a little bit more to, yeah, yeah, yeah. As you do it, you can make mistakes is the wrong word, but as you do it, notice the things that you would do differently because you're doing a batch of them. So if you would do it differently, great news, you're about to do some more. So if you would do it differently, do it differently. Yeah. Yes. Sorry, I know that I sound ridiculous, but this is what makes me happy, so I'm gonna be happy. Yes. Yes. This is what's up, guys. Making things with your hands and feeling good about it, you know? All right, you scooch over a little bit. So these two are pepperoni. I'm pepperoniing these last two. Then I will check on my green peppers because we can probably, no, I'm going to letter these probably. If I can find an empty tube, if I've got a tube available, I will letter them. Yes, 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 yes. Reminding myself that I'm allowed to overlap the pepperonis definitely made it look filled in, but not too regular. Because they don't sit there like they probably kind of put the pepperonis on there quick. A good pizza spot is gonna be pretty busy. And then I really enjoy the feeling of putting the little half slices at the edge where the that's yes, 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 yes. Yes, yes, yes. Oh, guys. Life is good. So good. All right. You're pretty big. I could probably fit a full if I get a little one. Oh, right. I'm overlapping a little bit. Am I gonna? Eh, Yeah, I'll put you there. Yep. And it's funny. It's especially funny because I've probably done like over the course of my shoe career, I've probably done like 20 pizza slices and still it's fun. Though if you look back at my originals, I definitely got more like lifelike as I did it. The first ones are a little bit more artistic. The first ones are special because they were the first ones, and I have a special place in my heart for those. Hell yes. Those are almost done. Okay. And then yeah, I have some left over, so I probably got it pretty close. I probably dialed it in pretty good. Yeah, I wish I had a few more shapes to work with, but that's if I had done that, I would probably have more left over, so, you know, 6 of 1. And that is probably my last one. And then I've got 2, 4, 6. I've got about 9 pieces left over, and I've got some left over from the last batch. So I'm going to see how much extracurricular pizza I can do without making more pepperonis. But I do still have some foam, so I'll probably cut and glitter some more pepperonis, off the clock, quote unquote, if you will. That makes me so happy. Look at my girls. Look at my sparkly pepperonis and my cheese and my crust. We did it, guys. We made shoes that look like slices of pizza on pizza servers. They said we couldn't do it. We did it. Nobody said anything about this. Nobody had any opinion about this. All right. Do I want to letter these? Yes, no, maybe so. Yeah, I mean, why not? Why not do that last thing? Let me see how my stuff looks. All right, my bell pepper slices are definitely ready to glitter. Are you? Let me set my pizzas aside just for a moment. Yay, yay, yay. Oh, gosh, that makes me. Do I want to put one more on there? I'm worried that this one has a blank spot here, and I know I can put some green in there. Do I want to put another? Then it's so much pepperoni. I'm gonna wait and put some green in. I'm gonna wait and see how I feel about it. I've got the pepperoni if I change my mind. Okay. Not bone dry, but dry enough. And I'm gonna just glaze the top just like I glazed the bottom or this is the bottom. I'm gonna glaze this side like I glazed the other side with my Mod Podge that I mixed with a little water. And ideally, I would have a bunch of stuff to glaze so that I could use my whole cup. That being said, as you do it, you kind of get the loose confetti in the glaze. So probably this is okay. Probably I'll just use this and then let this dry up a little bit and then use it as regular glue. Or if I forget about it and it dries out entirely, that's a thing that happens. Okay. And let me just get the edge, taking my brush and kind of dotting it along the edge, making sure it's a good seal because I don't want people having big crumbles of sparkly beef in their hands if they pick up my beautiful flip flop burger. Mm. It would be cute to do like a SpongeBob thing. I have considered doing that. That would be cute. Alrighty. Getting a little glaze on my hands as I rotate her, but that's okay. And she's, as a reminder, she's sitting on a bag because otherwise she will glue herself to the shelf of the dehydrator or a piece of paper or whatever. Because the glaze is thick enough that it doesn't like all go running off immediately. It stays where I put it mostly, but not entirely. All right. She is glazed. I'm gonna put my paintbrush in my water and then I'll let my glaze sit and like thicken up a little bit and maybe use it as glue, but maybe not. It's a little splish. It's this little splash of glue. A small price to pay for a burger patty that behaves itself. Okay. All right. Okay. Whoop-a-doop. All right. So my bell pepper slices are done. What we're going to do now, they have dried in the dehydrator. They have of glitter on They have 2 coats of glitter on both sides. Their edges are glittered, except we can't put a big old strip like this. Cutting them into, we're cutting some a little more square, some a little more rectangular, some kind of give them a little, you know, they're going to look, if you do it a little bit haphazard is the wrong word. Let it kind of be a good mix of shapes so that it looks like someone chopped up that bell pepper. Okay. Bah. Good assortment of little rectangles. Okay. So what we're going to do now, you sitting down in your meeting? Oh, no. Okay. You're going to take a little bit of glue. Um, bloop, bloop. Okay. You do not need a lot. A little bit of glue. Boom. Dip, 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 dip. Oof. Dip, dip. Might need to dip just one side. So that's going to be so annoying to sift through. Do I want to, would I be able to do this better with some pinchers? Maybe. Come here. This is not as shallow as I want it. There we go. And I might actually water it down a little with a little glaze. Boop. Okay. Dip, 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 dip. That's better. Some pliers you aren't terribly attached to. And a nice shallow dipping. Boop. These are my guys for when you can see they've got a lot of glue on them. These are my guys for when I like need to hold something, but tweezers are not quite heavy duty enough. Tweezers would be fine for this. I don't know where my tweezers are. I don't know why my tweezers are just on an early spring break, but I guess good for them. I guess they work hard. I guess they deserve a break. Boop. And the edge is going to be a little bit lumpy, but in no universe am I going to sit here with a tiny little paintbrush and get every little edge nice and even. That is fine. And I should probably, let me put these on a piece of paper so that they're easy to move, because I am still going to letter after they look good though. They look like little pepper slices. And if for what you're doing, you want them smaller, do them smaller. If you want them bigger, do them bigger. This is just approximately the size that I do. And probably when I put the slices together, I'll be like, oh, this is too big. This is not the move. Or, oh, this is too small. But I've got a big ass pile here. Plenty to work with. Mhm. Sorry, I know I'm quiet when I'm focusing on Zen tasks. Mhm. This will be awesome. I will letter my pizzas right now. And then when those are dry this evening, I will glue the bell pepper bits in between the pepperonis. And maybe, hopefully, I'll glue the little cabochon on the joint in the back. And then all 4 pizza slices will be ready to roll. And I think if the math is math, and I think all my sandwich stuff will be ready this evening also. My tomatoes are drying now, my pickles are drying now, my glazed patty is drying now, my cheese is done, my bread is done, my shrimps are done. The question is, am I going to get fancy with the mustard? The answer might unfortunately be yes. Oh, I also kind of a little bit wanted to make a bottle of Barks to, oopsies. Don't dip it into the glitter without putting it in the glue. I'm like, sorry that I'm quiet while I'm doing this, but then as soon as I start talking, it's just. So, right. These look great. And 4 strips, 1 strip per shoe this is probably enough, if I'm being for real. But while I'm doing it, I might as well do it. While I'm rolling through, I might as well keep on rolling through. And the ones at the end are already glittered on the end, so they just need 1. Boop. But it's hard to recognize those. Can you all see that it's not glittered on the ends, and that's what I'm doing right now? Oop, pliers, why did we abandon you? We forgot how good we had it with the pliers. So I realize that this is probably a little not the most exciting thing you've ever watched me do, but that's the reality of making stuff. Some of it is a little bit tedious. Oh man. Boop. Some of it is a little bit tedious, but if it was easy to do them, they wouldn't be so special. If you could just crank these out and have them be elaborate masterpieces in a matter of moments, what would make them special? Though the simple ones are still very special. Even as if I teach you guys nothing else, I hope it is that even the simple ones take effort and are to be appreciated. All right. Okay, almost there, home stretch. And I should probably switch to another slice of paper because this one is kind of looking full. But that would be like making 2 trips for the groceries. And we all know I'm just not doing that. But I will scooch this so y'all can see. Um, mm, 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 might be a 2 trips of groceries situation. Dip, dip, dip. Yeah, this is gonna be a lot of bell peppers. Maybe not though, whenever I'm like, "Oh, this is way more than I need." More than 50% of the time, I say, "Oh my gosh, I made way too much. I'm never gonna go through all of this." And then I put it on the shoes and I'm like, "Oh, whoops, I actually need more." I wish if I could just make simple low stakes wishes, that I think would be one of them, that I was a little bit better at estimating what I was gonna need. But I think there's no way to get that except experience. I saw it's very trite, and I hope y'all don't think less of me. Not very trite. I shouldn't be so judgmental. It's a little trite, but so please don't judge me. But I saw something that was like work smarter, not harder, gets it wrong. You only are able to work smarter after you've put in just huge amounts of stupid hard work. Just hard work as you figure out what working smarter looks like. So, something to think about. 5 pieces of pepper left. These are all pretty rectangular. I kind of wish I had done some a little bit squarer, more square, but I think it'll be all right. I think it'll be okay. I think these are going to look a little bit rough cut. This particular pizza parlor did not mince its toppings too little. That's okay. If I start to put it together and I feel like, oh no, all the pieces of pepper are just, all of them are too big, I will maybe cut some of these in half and do another round of this dip dip. Hopefully, doesn't come to that. My table is not wood. I don't have anything. I don't have wood to knock. Y'all knock on wood for me, please, if you have something wooden near you and you don't have glitter pliers in your hands. Almost done. Last one. Last one. Boop. Alrighty. Into the bell pepper mix goes my glitter. Into the trash goes my little guy, because that's pretty gluey. All right, those are my finished bell peppers, or they will be when they're dry, and then we will add them onto the pizza slice, make it a real supreme, and that will be the last topping we add to our pizza. Ba, 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 da, ba. All right, lettuce is looking good. Lettuce takes a long time to dry, so I'm checking on the lettuce, but I have no illusions about the lettuce being dry before much later tonight. Yeah, it's still super wet because you understandably you globbed a ton of glue on there. With great glue globbing comes great dry time responsibility, I'm afraid. You go over there. You girls come here. Okie dokie. Tomatoes and pickles look good. They aren't like bone dry, but I can move them out. I can make a little stack and move them out of the dehydrator. All right, this is my clean green. This is my clean red, but I need to put it in a jar and I will. Whoops. Pickles, dry enough to move. Dry enough to drop. Oh, I have some. Nope, nope. I was like, I have some like lime green confetti. Would that look good? But pickles don't have, I guess they do kind of have bumps. Oh, wait. That's a hard decision. Real quick, we're going to bump our pickles. Real quick. It's not going to show. It's such a silly thing to do. We do not need it. But I will know. I will know that the pickles got bumped. Oh, this is a silly. That's okay. We do silly things sometimes. We do some silly stuff in here. And I still got a little bit. Oh dear. I still got a little bit of this glue from doing my bell peppers, just enough to bumpy the pickles. Just a little pickle bumpies. This is not going to show at all, but it makes me happy. Okay. Few little bumps on the pickles. Oh, forgive me. Okay. We're not completely covering with the confetti, so we don't need to glaze because that is a level of thing that we really don't need to be doing. But I am doing just a little pinch of pickle bumps all around the edge of the pickle. It's silly. Sometimes you have to do silly things to entertain yourself. Sometimes you entertaining yourself is all the audience you need. And you know, the road to hell is paved with good intentions. The road to throws that you're really proud to throw, gifts that are really special and precious. The road to that is paved with weird little details that made sense to you, but you couldn't really justify if you had to defend them to anyone else. Sometimes we get silly. This is one of those times. I need a piece of paper. Put those down. One thing after another. I don't want to get my confetti into my. See, now the pickles are bumpy. Now it's a bumpy pickle. And I wonder, I'm like, gosh, this is taking a long time. But also, what if we put some bumps on our pickle slices? Boop, 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 boop. Boop, 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 boop. Bumpy pickle. Pickle bumps. Yep, yep. Silly but satisfying. I was like, oh, that confetti would be really pretty, but it's not like pickles have bumps. And I was like, oh, pickles do have bumps. Pickles do have bumps. My lovely lady lumps. Okay. Bumpy pickles drying. They'll be ready tonight. Glazed patty drying, looking good. Let me take the few specks of confetti that I got into my. So I don't really want a ton of confetti in there. Do. And all of my filters are on spring break with my tweezers, apparently. All right, back in she goes. That was fun and silly and unnecessary, and therefore kind of necessary. It was just 4 pickles. We just made 4 pickles bumpy. Who doesn't who would deny us the pleasures of the weird stuff? All right. Okay. Last thing today. Last piece of the glitter puzzle for today, and we have had a nice long session because it was the end of the month and we wanted to get some things finished or close to finished so that we could stay on target. Last thing is we are going to letter. Oh, let me unplug the glue gun. We are going to letter our gals. Let me see if she is. I don't think she is fine tipped enough. I'm going to use her. Let me see if any of my squeezy bottles are still in business. I might just do a fresh bottle. Y'all know I love a fresh bottle when I'm lettering. Oh, she's actually pretty good. Cleaned her with a pin and she's doing pretty good. Let me get another pin handy just in case. All right. So what I'm going to do on these is I'm going to ombre green and red because those are kind of the big pretty accent colors. Come on. The paint bottle is doing this annoying thing where instead of dropping straight down into the bottle, it's like curling. Come on. I could do a fresh bottle, but I think I'm gonna. Is it? I'll do fresh. There we go. Okay. Sometimes it needs to be done. And sometimes for me is kind of too much of the time. I probably do that too often. All right. Gonna letter her directly. And because I've got such a nice big surface here, I do a nice big lettering. Y'all will forgive me, hopefully, my being quiet. Takes a little concentration to do it. Ah, beauty. Beauty. All right. So I've got my green. That is Franklin green, but you could use Grace's green card. That was just the one that I had handy. It's my pepperoni mix. That's my pizza sauce mix. Okay. Okay. Bag of Mom's Creole tomato. I'm going to do a little bit. All righty. We're going to ombre her. Red on the top. Nice big red stripe. Boop, boop. Green on the bottom. And these are opaque glitters. So I don't worry about the red won't show through the green. So I used red paint, but it's going to be fine. Oh. Don't mind me. I'm just juggling my cups. All right, that's a good mix. Oh, beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Oh, we love it. 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 Ah, almost put that in the wrong jar. Would not have been the end of the world, but would not have been happy. All right. We're going to do the same thing 3 more times. Just a nice gentle, relaxed hand. We let it flow. We dig deep into our deep inner pool of calm and love and crafty joy. And we write nice, smooth letters. And then we put the year, little bitty numbers. Beauty. I did red on the top and green on the bottom. Let me do it the other way just to see if I like it more. My suspicion is that I will like red on the top, green on the bottom pretty consistently, but it's good to play around. It's good to try different things. You don't want to get too locked in, too set in your ways. You want to stay playful. Oops. When I shook my green off, I got a lot of red in it, so I just made a little extra middle stripe glitter. Mm. Oh, I actually do like green on the top a little better. They're both good. They're both fine. But I'll do green on the top for my last two. Or, yeah, I like green on the top. All right. See? I did not do that deliberately, but I did prove my own point. Okay. Come on, girl. Whew. Dimensional paint is so nice and thick, which is lovely and part of why we use it to make transfers and to do our lettering. But the thickness of the dimensional paint means it kind of wants to hold its shape today, even as I'm moving it into the jar, the other bottle. Come on. All right. Hopefully ça suffit. Hopefully that is enough. The setup and the cleanup takes more time than the actual crafting, but it's got to be done. All right. Good. Two more. Two more. Nice. Smooth. Not rushing, but not dawdling. We take the time we need, but we keep it flowing. Nice and smooth and even and well spaced. That's the ticket. Muses. And as I've said before, this is the only thing that I can direct letter. Everything else I do a transfer for. And if you're new to it, you're just overall going to be happier with a transfer because when you're new, it's very easy to mess this part up. All right, I like green on the top. It's very easy to mess this part up when you're new. That's not a judgment. I don't think less of you. We all started somewhere, but you'll probably be a little bit happier overall with a transfer. But I personally do tend to, at this stage in my glitter journey, I do tend to direct letter. Mhm. If it's just writing muses in script and it's just, and this is just something that has come to me with a lot of experience and a lot of practice, a lot of working harder, so I could work smarter, if you will. Three. One, two, three. Last one. Last girly. And on that one, my lettering started to get a little thick, so I think I'm squeezing a little harder than I ought to. Good. We clean. Get my tube nice and free flowing and ready to roll. Okay. Good squeeze. Last one. Nice, even, gentle, mindful, smooth strokes. Think relaxed thoughts. We squeeze, but we don't squeeze too hard. That's it. That's it. Beauty. Beauty. And our numbers are littler, so we're a little gentler with the bottle so that our lines are delicate. Beautiful. 4 for 4. Kicking some ass. I came here to letter shoes and chew gum. And I'm all out of gum. The red stripe on the bottom. I got a little green in my red, so I'm just going to brush it off rather than make more. I don't need that much of my middle color now that I'm on the last one. Though I will, of course, save this for my other girls, my extracurricular pizzas. All righty. 4 for 4. Can't nobody tell me nothing. Beautiful. We have got all 4 pizza slices lettered. So rock on. We have got our bell peppers drying in the dehydrator. Where's my little I gotta find my little guy. We've got our bell peppers drying in the dehydrator. So that's fantastic. We've got our lettuce drying, our now bumpy pickles drying, our glazed burger patty drying. We've already got our shrimps. We've got our tomatoes dry and ready to go. So hopefully this evening, but if it's the 1st or 2nd or even 3rd of April, we're still good. It's a rough schedule. It's not a contractual obligation. Of all the many things to worry about in your day, you do not need to worry about your glitter schedule being sufficiently rigorous. But we are in amazing shape. I feel really good about it. Very excited that these 2 girls are going to go in the pile. So these 2 girls will go in the pile tomorrow or the next session. Our pizza slices will go in the pile, so that will be 6 more in the pile. And then once we do our 2 po' boys and our burger, that will be 3 more in the pile. That will be 3 king cakes, 2 wave velvets, 4 pizza slices, and then 3 sandwiches. 12 shoes, 20% of the way. We are killing it. I feel amazing about the progress, and I hope you all will continue to join me throughout the process, throughout the project, throughout the whatever glittering adventures destiny brings us. Y'all have a great day.